Okay. Hi, if you're watching the replay. If you're watching now, you probably cannot see me yet. But I'm very excited because I thought this was next week. So I have had it on my calendar for a month as next week, and I don't know why.
I think we're debating between the two dates.
Yeah.
I know. And I knew I was like, okay, so like we decide this one, and I don't know why I picked the wrong one for what we decided, but so anyways, I'm really glad I messaged you guys earlier and discovered because I would not have been here.
Like, Heather,
are you ever going to make it? Nothing on there. So yeah, that was good. So I'm excited because now I get to do my journal instead of waiting a week.
Yep.
So
yes.
Are you guys all doing journal stuff tonight or other stuff?
Yep. Journal updates. I've got next month's content. Well, I've got to plan out the kids' content for my other channel because I haven't thought about that yet. Everything else is planned. And then maybe photo editing, depending on how long we're on here and how long everything takes me. I've got like my list of things to check off.
Right.
Yeah, I have to March content plan because I have no idea what I'm doing in March. That's my plan.
You could do recent reads.
Yeah, I know. I'm like 2 behind already. I have like 20 books that I need to talk about.
I'm behind on mine too. Yeah, I'm updating my journal and I'm probably going to do some content planning. And JT is over here painting.
That's good. I'm glad that we all have stuff to do. So
yeah,
it was my fault. It couldn't be next week. Sorry, guys.
Birthday girl.
I can't do next week now anyway either.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't even just you. Like there was a lot of conflicts, and I think that's why I was.
Yeah. Heather, you'll like this because this is my blackout.
Ooh.
I do like that. Also, I finished Clean Sweep a couple hours ago, so
I did my reread.
I'm going to do all my stuff in my journal for it.
Yay! Yeah, fun. No, I reread listening to the graphic audio on Friday, and I finished my diamond painting while I did it, so I was happy.
Way to go.
So pretty.
Way to go.
I think my audiobook for Magic Bites came in.
Ooh. Nice. I tried to listen to the audiobook on my latest reread and I was unsuccessful. I was like, no, I can't do it.
Just kidding.
Actually, no.
I listen to the audiobook so quickly that the majority of the time it doesn't matter unless they're really bad.
So. I really feel like I would have to have such a learning curve to listen to audiobooks, and I've never forced myself through that learning curve. So here we are.
Yeah, I think there are just some people who don't like being read to. Like my sister and my mom are the same way. They cannot listen to audiobooks because they hate being read to.
Yeah. Unless it's got multiple cast or like it's one of the short Audible originals, I can't listen to something brand new, but I can listen to something as a reread. And that's now I'm just doing it when I'm diamond painting, and that's the best way. I feel like it's just the way that I've managed to get myself into it.
That's what I've been trying to do. Like I've been trying rereads, and it still hasn't really panned out.
Yeah,
I think part of it for me is my attention span is really bad, and so audiobooks are the best way for me to be able to do like 4 things at a time. And so my ADHD brain doesn't.
I think it's just I don't like it sped up. Like I like it to be their natural voice, right? But their natural voice is so freaking slow, and I'm just like, okay, I can't do this.
Yeah, you can't speed it up to 1.25. Like that's because that to me at least 1.25 and not 1.5 sounds like regular speed.
I don't know. Yeah. Like I haven't really tried. Even like sometimes for YouTube videos. Sometimes I have to watch videos because I'm a nice person that I'm not really interested in, or I'm not really interested in the person, and then I'll speed them up because they're excruciatingly slow. And even then, I'm just like, oh.
I do watch most YouTube quick, like sped up at 1.25. But again, that's my brain. My therapist and I have this discussion all the time that I need to start slowing things down.
What's the reason behind having to slow things down? What's the negative?
There's not much, but she's like, maybe you should try just listening to things at normal speed and relax. And I'm just like, I could.
Then I wouldn't get as many books as I wanted.
Yeah. I'll just continue with my audiobook at 2.8 though.
That's wild.
Yes, I did say diamond painting.
Show everyone your pretty diamond painting.
I thought the picture, it's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
That is pretty. Wow.
I love how it gets sparkly too, because you get like the shine on everything.
Yeah, and it looks better from a distance, because up close I'm like, I know what it's supposed to be, but it doesn't look like that. But yeah, no, I have my next one, which I've already set up on the table but haven't started, is A Wolf Howling at the Moon, and it's all basically blue and white, and I'm like, oh god, myself. The things I do. But I do have another one so the painting that I have above my bed in my videos, which is sort of just like this watercolor face of a woman, I have one that's almost identical in a diamond painting. And I'll do that one after I do this one. I forgot I had it. But I got it because it looked pretty much the same.
That's cool.
If you guys need suggestions for content, we can do a brainstorm session. Or if you get it yourself, you'll have to ask. If you're stuck, you can ask.
I actually don't know what I put in.
I was like, I have some stuff, but I definitely have. I was like, I have a bunch of open days, but I have 3 recent reads that I need to do. So.
Actually, looking at it now, I don't want to do any of the stuff that I actually put in here. So
Time.
That could be fun.
I have been having, I feel like, about half my content planned, a little bit more than that, but I've been like changing a lot of it, and that's been fun to be like, okay, I thought of this video and I'm filming it today and it's going up soon, rather than like 4 months later like I usually do.
Well, I realized I should probably do some middle grade March stuff for my kids' channel, which is good because I've got a whole stack of books that I haven't read and I need to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, JT, didn't you want to talk to Steph about the Expanse? He's been reading. He's like, oh, I have to talk to Steph about the Expanse tonight.
So I have 20.
Can you please take your stupid eye? Why do you do this to me?
I need it.
You're not painting at the moment.
Bree, are you being ableist to your husband right now?
like, I can't see.
It's like, imagine if it was just regular glasses. I was like, take those off.
It makes you look hideous.
Are you happy
I'm
now?
happy. Now you may talk.
I mean, we're still laughing. Maybe give us another minute.
Anyway, I have 28 minutes left of Tiamat's Wrath.
Oh yeah.
What book is that?
That is book 8, I think.
Out of how many?
9.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
almost done.
So next one is it. So I now understand why. Maybe I shouldn't be like spoilery or something.
I don't think they're going to read it. It's
You're,
fine.
you're probably fine, to be honest.
Yeah, probably nobody here cares. But yeah, so now I understand why they finished the series after book 6 because of that 30-year time jump. I was like, wait, what? What happened here?
Yeah.
Were you mad about that?
I wasn't mad. I was just kind of confused. I was like,
Like, did
it takes a second to reorient yourself with where you are in the story. Because that I struggled with that at first. I'm like, hang on, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Did the previous one end abruptly, or did it come to a decent end? Really? So they just like were like,
Well,
30 years.
Each book has its own resolution. So there's a overarching plot, but there's a plot within the book, and it it's always resolved, but you know that there'd be the next adventure sort of thing. But
and even
I remember thinking it was strange that there were going to be 2 more books.
Yeah. Yeah, and even with the like all the other books in the series, there's sort of mini time jumps. It was like maybe a year or like 2 or 3, something like that. Nothing major, like 30 freaking years.
I feel like time jumps in like sci-fi though make more sense than in romance. Like when it's in romance, it's kind of jarring, I guess. But
Yeah.
But it's amazing what these characters do even 30 years later. I'm like, hang on, how old were you guys at the start of this book series?
Oh yeah. Like what Bobby and Amos did when they got up against that one Belter crew.
Yeah.
Like beat their asses. I'm like, Jesus, aren't you guys like 60? But,
now JT's being ageist.
Excuse me.
60-year-olds can fight too.
They also have like anti-aging meds and things like that.
That's true.
Some on years.
They do have that. And Bobby's Bobby's been raised like a super soldier. May not have the same sort of thing, but that's basically what she is.
Yeah. I was also very sad about Bobby.
Yeah.
Like I knew it was coming, but at the same time I was like, maybe.
Yeah, he walks in. He usually listens to it on his way like to and from work, and he comes in from getting home from work, and he's like, I think a character I really like is about to die.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Look, the one thing, like I got really sad when various characters died in the series, but none of them, like all of them felt like the closure of that character's story. So I never resented it. I was just sad that they weren't going to be in it anymore.
Yeah. That's true.
I think it was actually done really well. But
Yeah, they did do a really good job. But so I'm finishing up that one now, and like they're all like back on the Rosie, so I'm really curious as to like what the hell is going to be happening in the future here with Amos and all that. So.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So are the books at this point where you are, JT, are they anything like the series now, or is it completely different?
Oh, this is way beyond the series at this point.
But the series is ended, right?
Yeah, the series is over. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to, unless they did something really, really drastic. Because I did actually read something that was kind of interesting. Some fan had like a theory or an idea of how they could do that with still the same like characters. So their thought was instead of it having like the 30-year time jump, that Laconia basically had like the 30-year time jump. So they would do something like like the black hole from Interstellar, where it had like the time space where it broke space time or whatever. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and they were like, well, they could, if they did something like that, if they wrote that in, they could keep all the same characters and stuff. And I was like, okay, that could work. But
they can de-age characters. I wonder if they could just age them. Because they can do that. They did that for the new what's it called? Harrison Ford movie.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they de-aged him.
Yeah.
So why not go in reverse?
But yeah, they could do something like that. I still can't believe that there's another one of those.
Seriously. My husband's like, can we go? And I was like, no.
You can go.
I'm very tired.
I didn't even bother seeing the last one with him and Shia LaBeouf, or however you say his name. I was just like, hard pass.
I remember watching that.
Well, I'm sorry.
It was weird.
I've heard very, very bad things from everybody I've talked to about it.
Yeah. Yeah. There were some choices made, I guess.
Yeah.
If only that wasn't the standard these days. Oh, there was some choices.
April says it was bad.
I had to watch the series finale of His Dark Materials because my husband was watching that. And it was the most depressing thing ever. And I was like, this is why I read romance.
Have you not read the series?
No, I never read it as a kid.
The book series is fantastic. I haven't seen the TV show because the first movie.
I only watched the finale. Like, that was it. Yeah. And I was just like sitting there. I was like, it doesn't end like this, does it? And he was like, it ends like this. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? I was like, no. I was like, turn it off right
now. Yeah, no, I'll have to watch it at some point. I was really impressed with Lockwood and Co. because that's also a really fantastic younger YA sort of series with ghosts. And that was, the TV series was actually fairly accurate to the first two books, I think. Is what the first season covered off. But yeah. But no, His Dark Materials is one of my favorite books. Lives rent-free in my brain. So
he said that the finale was like true to like how the story ended. It was just really depressing to see on screen because it was like, this isn't an HEA. I don't want this.
No, but it's not a romance.
Come on, man.
No, I started getting they've started doing the hardcover illustrated editions of the books in that series. So I have the first two. So I need to do a reread.
That would make a really good illustrated book based off of the one episode that I
saw. I'll get them and show you.
So they have like little animal companions. It was adorable.
Yeah. So I never read or watched it either, although it's popular enough that I know some stuff about it.
Yeah, based off of the series, but the movie was what kind of sort of things.
That's so pretty.
Ooh, that is pretty.
Here's a good picture.
I love that sound.
I know. Oh wow. That's a cool illustration style.
Yeah. So the books 1 and 2 are out.
Nice.
I would really like that. That was my Christmas present to myself.
Good choice.
Okay.
my chair.
The worst. I barely use my chair during the day, like while I'm working, because I have the stand-up adapter for my desk. And I usually just end up standing the entire day because I hate that my chair makes all this noise. Like, it's not that it's uncomfortable, I just hate the noise. Otherwise, when I'm sitting in it, I'm like, don't move, don't move.
That'd be stressful.
It's very stressful. Or I sit on my exercise ball, as opposed to, just getting a new chair.
Right. That's crazy.
Why would you do that?
Why would we?
Doubling down.
I sat on like a really bad dining room chair for 2 years working at home. Because I was like, I don't need a chair.
You're like, it's temporary. I'm not even, why would I know?
I knew within 6 months that I was permanent work from home. I still waited 2 years.
Yeah.
My mid-30s back was not happy about it.
Well, my desk chair now lives at my kitchen table because that's the only place I sit. All other good chairs, and they're not terrible chairs, but I'm not sitting in them all day long.
Yeah.
Oh my. Also one of those things where you just get used to it. Like, you don't even know this anymore. Whereas if you were walking into the room with fresh eyes, it would like immediately stand out to you. But
Yeah, after a while, I was like, whatever, it's fine.
March is my birthday month, so I always really look forward to doing the spread for it and stuff for no reason other than
When's your birthday in March?
the 2nd.
The 2nd. I was like, you have to have an early one if you're a Pisces.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was due, I think, like February 15th or something.
Oh, wow.
My sister and I were both 16 days late.
Wow.
Which is like, wow.
Exactly 16 days late.
I was perfectly punctual.
Love that for you. Yeah, my I have one sibling, my sister, and my mom, my sister, and I are all March birthdays. So,
oh wow, that's kind of like that's like everyone here. I'm the only one who's in June. Everyone else is August. JT and the girls.
Oh, that's awesome.
So me, my dad, and my brother are all on the last day of our month.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, my parents
we almost had 3 months in a row on the 2nd, and my daughter came after midnight, so she ruined it.
She wanted to be an individual.
Yeah.
I guess.
No, my parents, their birthdays are 5 days apart in August. I was early, my sister was late, and that entirely describes our personalities.
Yeah, both my brother and I were exactly at our due dates.
Wow.
Weird.
That almost never happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as common as you might think.
My mom's a control freak, so she jokes about how like that was why.
She would not allow it.
Like absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Let me tell you how this is gonna go.
Y'all are gonna show up when I say so.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's how my sister is going to try and manage her pregnancy. I don't think it works that way. Good try.
It's so stressful. simply because you do not know how anything is going to go.
Anything. And you can listen to as many different pregnancy stories and birth stories, and yours will still be different.
Right.
Everybody somehow.
I was always just waiting for it to be over. So I was like, okay, whatever bad thing happens, at least like I'll know. At that point, I'll know what happened. So.
Well, because my cousin is due sometime in March, probably towards the later half of March, and she and my sister are dragging my mum, my aunt, and myself off to this baby expo next weekend. And I'm like, this can go a few different ways, and I'm not sure if are going to end well.
We are playing with fire, guys.
It's so accurate, no matter who the participants are. It's just, you never know.
It's so interesting how that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like also like birthdays and things like that are like things that people compulsively share. Like every time I go to the dentist, the receptionist is like, "My son was born the same day, year after you." Like every time, and it's like, yeah, I know, because my birthday's the same every time, and it triggers you. And you're like, oh,
you know, I've been coming here for quite a while.
I'm like, it's me again, same birthday.
It hasn't changed.
It's just one of those things where like if yours relates to it, or like you're like, oh, my dad or whatever, you feel the need to share as soon as you're like, oh, connection.
You know what one of those things is? Violet having red hair. I cannot tell you how many times, like, whenever I have her out in public, if anyone knows anyone ever in their lives who has red hair, they come up to me and tell me, like, oh, my daughter, sister, brother, blah, 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 has red hair. And I'm like, cool.
That's nice.
Awesome. Happy for you and them.
Good to know, stranger.
At the moment, I'm having a laugh with a lot of the kids, the new kids that have started that are part of sort of my sub-school, because 5-year-olds actually don't know their birthday. Like they know when it's roughly happening.
What?
But like I had a kid swear up and down that the day that I was helping him out was his birthday. Like it's my birthday today. It's my birthday today. I'm like, maybe it's not your birthday today. It's next weekend.
You're really cute, but no, it's not.
That's funny.
On our school management system, I've put in something. So I actually get the birthdays of all of the kids in the foundation area. And so it just pops up when it's their birthday. So I can go and give birthday stickers because I've got to somehow get rid of these stickers that I've accrued 10 years. But yeah, they're hilarious. Like, oh, it is. I was like, no, it's not my birthday. I'm like, it is.
It's way funnier that they don't believe you that is their birthday.
Well, you're not my real mom.
It depends how busy their morning is and what has gone on in the morning. Like, okay. The joys of little children.
There's something.
Oh.
So question for you guys who have like regular planners, like non-bookish planners. Do you write your to-do lists in your planners, or do you have a separate area? You write it in your planner?
But I have daily inserts. Loud. So it has, oh, where's my camera? So it has a section for schedule and then a whole to-do list.
Okay. And that's how you use it?
Yeah. So I have my schedule on one side and my to-do list on the other. And then there's a priority section that I white out, and I use that as social media.
So
I've never been able to do that.
When do you start filling that out? Do you fill it out like a month ahead, a week ahead, the day ahead, the day of?
I set the week up on like Thursday the week before, and then I can have like that whole next week then to start writing my to-do list so that I can see my schedule. But I also have a calendar that I keep like all of the events and stuff on. So like as stuff comes up, I pop them on the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And then the week before, I set up the following week.
Okay.
So that's how I do it. But I don't have children schedules to keep track of. So that's
yeah, my work to do is in my work to do planner.
Yeah, I have a separate work one too.
And my home one, like I pull it out, except it's sitting literally underneath the laptop. I just have, it's a, you know, one of like those desk calendars that you can keep on your desk that you just tear off the week.
Yeah.
So it's just got a box for every day. And there is a to-do section, but I never write the to-dos in the to-do section. I write it in the box.
Yeah. I always end up with like a really big to-do list because if I don't write something down, like it is gone out of my head, just like simple things. So I have to have a to-do list that I just like jot down. But I also have like pieces of paper just on my desk throughout the day where I'll just like randomly write stuff down.
Yeah, I do that too. Post-it notes.
Yeah.
And if it goes on a post-it note, it has to go on one of my laptop. It has to go on my personal laptop or my work laptop, depending on what it's for, because I lose it.
I end up with these really random lists that just say things like next month, finance, home. I don't know what it means.
Whether you remember what it means or not, it's a gamble.
It's there.
Yes. I've also been known before, if I do something that I thought I had to do before I wrote it down as a list, on my list, I've also been known to write it down on the list so I can cross it off and go, I've done it.
I do that every morning when I sit down. I will write down the stuff I did already just so I feel better.
It's positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
You can get things done.
Oh yeah, April, that's what I do. I have a small notepad for work. That's what I have. I have like a notepad where I write it down because I was so here's the thing. I was trying to do that in my bullet journal, to have my daily to-do list in my bullet journal, but for some reason, somehow it's too much for me to open my bullet journal and keep the to-do list. And maybe like keeping it, I don't know what it is, but it's so much easier for me to just have a pad like this.
Yeah. My work planner is like a chunky thing because I have to track my project. So I have like all these tabs for like project breakdowns.
Okay.
Because I have to track hours and stuff and timelines.
Yeah.
My work planner is like totally different, but
see, my boss, I'm sure he has a calendar of some kind. I know he mostly uses a digital calendar, but every time he's always walking around with this folio, and all it has in it is blank paper, and that's all I ever see him write on. And I'm like, how do you manage this? Because I get it, because there's heaps of spaces and he can sort of categorize it at the end of the day. But I'm like, I don't know how you do this. Every time I see him, I'm like, this hurts my brain.
Yeah, I transfer everything into OneNote after, like at the end of the day, but it's just so much easier for me to jot stuff down throughout the day and then transfer it. But it is very organized.
This is JT's model that he's working on right now.
Oh, nice job.
Good details.
He's very muscly.
It really is so impressive.
It is really impressive.
Because it's so tiny. Don't get paint.
Done.
That's why he needs the weird glasses.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
The headlamp.
Just strap.
Does he have one of those little things to like hold it too, so that he the stand?
Yeah. It's a little.
Yep.
No, it's not Kratos. It's
He said it's not Kratos.
I mean, it does look very close to it, but it's some guy's like D&D character. It's just a
it's a D&D character.
Yeah, it's just a 3D printed mini.
It's cool though.
Do you guys have a 3D printer, Brief? Does he print them himself?
No, but I feel like, hey, Ronan. So we got them new toys, and they each have their own. But then when Ronan comes in, he likes to try and take Keely's. So then they fight over it. And I'm like, why? Every time. Keely wasn't even chewing on her. She was just like sleeping next to it. And then Ronan came in to try and gently take it. And she was like, hell no. It's fine.
It's how all kids are.
I know, exactly. You can get every kid the same toy. It can be exactly the same, but they want to play with the one that the other kid is not. That's what these dogs are.
And it's not even that they want to play with each other's, it's that they want to play with theirs, but also not have them touch their own. So it's not like a trade. It's like, no, I want mine and yours.
Exactly. I want them all. I want nobody.
Our puppy, our younger dog, is like a dragon. She has like a hoard, and so like she will take everything, and she'll take it to her bed, and she'll like put it underneath like the other cushion and stuff, and she will like collect everything. And like I will come home and like all my shoes will be in her bed. I'm just like, are you okay?
They try to take the toys outside and like bury them, but I have to like grab it out of their mouth before they go outside. Did you get in a fight, Keely? Were you mad at Roman? She's sitting next to me now, like,
can you believe him?
I know. That jerk. Did you see what he did? Oh no, Keely, what happened? Were you acting like a real dog?
Keely, your show is returning so soon.
I know, so soon. I can't wait. My daughter's dog hides toys from the other dogs. Implanters, underdressers. That's hilarious. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, if there's something that Naga really wants, their bed is like 2 cushions. Like a cushion sits inside of like a bigger cushion, and she really wants a toy. She'll put it underneath because she thinks she's being sneaky.
Nobody will find it.
No one will find it there.
Brilliant hiding space. Do you guys keep track of stats in your, like, whatever the stats may be, like how many books you read in a month or whatever? Do you keep track of stats in your planners?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I like that in the spreadsheet.
I keep track of my stats in my journal that are not just reiterations of my wrap-ups, you know? So the wrap-up is what book I read and what I rated it and the chronological order that I rated it in. It's kind of just that month segment of my Goodreads pretty much. But then my journal, like I'll have all of the ratings on one page, and they're not separated by month. So it's just to see the accumulation of how many books am I reading this rating in a year, or how many had this rep or this trope, or, you know, how long was the book. Those things are in my journal, and those aren't in my wrap-ups or anything. So
Okay.
Actually, I lied. I normally don't track it, but apparently I do have a page, and I did put in the stats for last month.
Well, there you go.
maybe it's a 2023 thing that you do.
Maybe it is. The one thing that I am doing, which I'm actually finding really interesting, is tracking how many pages I read by color.
Oh, interesting.
Like a habit tracker, but just the pages read.
What's the color code for?
How many pages? So I've got like 0 to 200, 200 to 300.
So range.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No one will
that
understand
too,
stats.
except
Okay. No stats.
I have mine be significant reading, minimum reading, and no reading, basically. So I track that by day, and that's been really interesting because I tracked that for all of 2022. So, you know, I got to see the whole
That's cool.
years. But it's very interesting because it always goes in cycles. Like if I'm not reading or I'm barely reading, those days are all close together, and then I'll have like a huge chunk of I read a good bit every day, and then as soon as I like miss one day or whatever, it'll like stutter again, and it's never like isolated, you know.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that I'm not going to try and put like my daily to-do lists or anything in my journal, but I'm trying to think of what stats I want to track, like monthly. Because if I feel like at least if we're doing this, that can be when I put them all in if I don't keep track of it as I go. But
right,
trying to think of what I want to actually keep track of.
Yeah. Well, as someone who has been a lot of stats so far this year, and has, you know, now been doing it for a couple months almost, I think that the things that I like the most that I'm tracking are the author diversity and stuff I've already tracked. So that's kind of a given for me just because I like to see it. But I really like my author frequency, whether it's a new to me author or a repeat or an all-time favorite or a new favorite, where it's like, okay, I read you for the first time last week, but now I'm on, you know, book 3 or 4 or whatever. I really like that. I really like tracking where I got a book recommendation from. So I have Booktube, Bookstagram, BookTalk, Goodreads, other, and all I do, I don't like write the book or anything about it. I just color in a square, you can see. So the idea is at the end of the year, I'll be like, okay, I had a ton from Booktube and like hardly any from Goodreads or whatever. And then I also have who recommended it, just in order that I've read from their recommendation, and the rating. It's questionable because then I'm like, okay, what if every time I pick up something from you, I really don't like it? I'm gonna be able to see that. Like, what do you think? I really like that. Yeah. And I've also been tracking something I added this year that I really like, is tracking how many books I'm reading for a commitment, whether that's like a readathon or a read along, or just because I put it on the TBR or a challenge or whatever. Because I heavily identify as a mood reader. So I'm like, how many of these are in here? Then, of course, I have your 90 million trope stickers, and then I added a bunch of things on my own, which I should send you, all the things I wrote in myself.
I can make them for you.
One of the things that I added myself that I really like, well, a couple. Okay, a bunch. Never mind. It's a lot, actually. I have found family and supportive family. I'll just send you a picture. So, and jealous and possessive. I also have insta-lust and low conflict. And I have no third act breakup or couples with more than one book. And I added spoiling too because it's like different from other things. I also really like, I have she's lethal. So
cool. Yeah.
Character is like the love interest can be lethal too, but like if she's killing people or very capable of killing people, I would like having that. Yeah, that's probably, but those are like the most exciting ones. I feel like the ones that every time I have read one that fits it, I'm like, oh yes, I can color this in. I also have dangerous / violent meet cute.
I love that. I like violent meet cute.
That's been fun too.
Mia says, I keep stats and habit trackers in my Dojo. Let me know which stats and habits you keep track of.
Yeah, I am not good about any of that stuff. I always have good intentions and then I don't keep up with it. So I didn't even bother for this year.
You have to keep up with it. Even if you're doing like 2 or 3 books, it's like, okay, this is a lot of work.
Yeah. And so I was just like, I would like get really behind and be like, forget it, I'm not doing it. Right.
I do think it's one of those things that if you start, you really want to start with like the bare minimum, like the bare bones. Because if you do have to fill out 50 things per book, like you're not going to start with that.
Right.
I already was really consistent with it all of last year. So I feel like, okay, I'm definitely, picking up my journal at least 2 or 3 times a week without even thinking about it to do this. So adding like a bunch on is fine. Plus I like do it while I watch YouTube and stuff. Like it's something I like doing, but I would never have started with how many I'm trying to track right now. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's like the people who do like those really pretty spreads for each of their books. I'm like, I could not make for 245 books or whatever. I couldn't do it.
I can barely write a review for each one. Like I will like do a video review, but to write it and put it on Goodreads, I'm like,
I just like put like heart. Right. This was great. That was helpful.
I put like one sentence all the time.
Yeah.
The most I'll ever do is a paragraph. That's like, wow, I had a lot of thoughts to get out. And it's funny because it's not like I don't have things to say about the book. Like I finished Clean Sweep today, which we're going to have a live show for next week. And, we'll talk about it for like an hour. And I wrote one sentence. I was like, not as much romance, but I like the political stuff.
Especially like now that I do videos too, it's like, I really don't want to have to do this in multiple ways. Right. I'll just talk about it later.
And I'm not. Like if I try and do the same thing here, Goodreads, videos, journal, like that's not going to happen. So I'm either going to quit all of them or I'm going to quit something. So it has to be not the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And I have to say, if I could only have one, it would be videos. Like that's the thing I had the most fun doing too.
Yeah.
Talk about the books.
Agreed.
ASMR is on point right now.
Quality content.
Heather, how do you track the authors? Like, do you have a single page that has
for all of my author stats?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I have author diversity on one side, and then I have author frequency on the other. And this is not including any of my DNFs. So my DNFs have their own page. And on that, I have if it's a repeat author, a diverse author, a new author. Obviously, most of my DNFs are new to me authors. I just, pick them up and don't really like.
For the author frequency, you had the author names written sideways and then you colored in.
Not the author names, the sections. So I have new to me, new repeat, new favorite, repeat, and all-time favorite.
Okay.
That's what I have. But because I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like if I was going to do like author specific pages like you and Steph do, it would not work as well in a physical journal.
Yeah.
You know? So
you'd constantly add more to it. So it's
right. Yeah. I do have on a different page. I have like where in the backlist it is. Let me see if I can find which page. Oh, I must have missed it. So a lot of my stats have to do with the content of the book, right? Like the characters and the tropes and things like that. I cannot find. I think it's in here. Okay. Yes. Here. So I have if it's debut backlist that's new to me, new release, or backlist repeat. And I specifically had backlist that's new to me because I was curious how many authors I was trying, that I wasn't trying their latest release. But I think that might be all the things that I have with authors because I don't care that much.
I did create canvas for myself of authors because I wanted a good way to track author backlists, but I was like, I'm not going to make it in a physical journal because they're not easy to add to. So I created myself just like a bunch of canvas of like the authors and like all of the books that I can easily add to.
I've kind of noticed for myself, and obviously this doesn't always work because of memory and stuff, but I've noticed for myself, the authors that are my go-tos, I always have a book by them on my TBR. And I do not like having a huge TBR on Goodreads at all. So I'll only ever have one. But I like the author on the TBR. So whichever that one is, like that's my priority until I read it. Which I have my anticipated releases in a whole different thing on Goodreads. So like they don't overlap. But that's so I'm not ever like, oh, I'm trying to go through other backlists. So let me list all the backlists. I'm just like, what is the next book that I'm reading by them? And that's on my list. And when I'm in the mood to read this author, that's the one I'm picking up.
I really only did it for authors who have like their series are interconnected. And so it's you kind of have like a reading order. So I wanted to like map them all out.
Yeah.
So I did with those ones. So it's like, okay, I know I'm supposed to read them in this order. Like I did it for Only James because I had started with Necessary Evils. And they actually have like a reading order for all of her series. And so I went back and read them in that order.
Right. It's not very often. I don't know. I read a lot of my favorite repeat authors, but I'm not like a completionist in either sense of the word, finishing the book or finishing the backlist. So, you know, I'm not going to if I don't think I'd like the book, then I don't bother picking it up, even if it's by the author I like. So
yeah, and then the only other ones I did were authors who have huge backlists, but it's like I don't want to read all of their books, so I made a collection of the ones where it's like these are ones that I'm actually interested in, so every single time I don't have to go through and read through.
Right.
Again. Because like Real St. Adams' backlist is massive. And so like I was like these are the ones that I actually want to read.
I just read Casey Mills, I think it's their author name. Yeah. For the first time. And I saw it from I think it's Book With Me on Twitter. She has a different username on every platform, and I can't memorize all of them. But it's Whitney. She's Lady Marie, so she's the author of Sugar Sugar that came out this month, which is a 30-year-old sugar baby. It was really good. It was really good. Anyway, so she like shared this new release that's a Black Motorcycle Club romance. And I was like, oh, well, like, hello, I'm interested. And she was like, yeah, the first one was really, really good. So I read the first one and it was really good. So then I was trying to find the second one, the new release, to put on my Goodreads TBR because I had just read and liked that one. And the backlist is like never ending. Scrolling. It's so long for this book. I was like, I don't even know if I know anyone with more than this because I'm pretty sure like well above Christina C. Jones and
that's saying something.
Christina C. Jones is another one. Her backlist is huge, and so I was like, oh god, I need to pick some.
I'm not scrolling through this again. I need some recommendations on where I'm going to start here. Too much.
I need to do my winter TBR wrap up, and I have DNF'd so many books on this winter TBR that I don't even want to make the video.
I love this. I'm so proud of you.
It was tragic.
Now I'm scrolling through and seeing what I even put on my winter TBR.
I'm just like DNF at 80%, DNF at 10%, DNF at 40%.
That's legit. If you DNF at 80%, you really must not have liked it.
It was Scarlett St. Clair's Queen of Myth and Monsters, and that book is garbage.
There have been some close calls this month, but like I've gotten that far and I've I know I probably could have DNF'd it, but I'm also like, I want to see if you're actually as bad as I think you are, and you continue that through the whole book.
And then I DNF'd, and then there was like another, I think the QB Tyler book, I DNF'd at like 4%. Like I made it like pages.
Yeah, I think I finally given up on QB Tyler. Just can't get past the cheating aspect in some of them, and like some of the taboo aspects. And,
I know.
Books
not for me.
Yeah, they're not for me. I can see why people like them though, because at least the one that what's the super popular one?
Bittersweet Surrender, or
it's the one where he like it's the memory thing, like he forgets. Forget Me Not.
Forget Me Not, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that one. Yeah, that one, like I could not put it down, and I like the chemistry between them, but I could not forgive him for what he did. So I can see why people like her books. Like the writing's great. There's nothing wrong with the writing whatsoever, but I can't. I can't forgive some of the things.
Yeah. What was meant to be was the one where like the guy helped to raise her.
Yeah, that one
as a toddler, and I was like, no. You can't. If you saw her in diapers, man, you can never. You can't go back. There's no.
Yeah.
Too weird for me.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening? I guess I'm at the point where I need to figure out my March TBR.
I just did that too, and then I was like, I was trying to do March releases, and I was like, I feel like I'm missing a bunch because I have like nothing.
Oh, I have like some very anticipated releases, but I don't know.
Comes out, so I'm excited for that. Beta Vices. Next one.
Yes.
That one.
Vicious Ocean. I have that pre-ordered. You don't read Kristen Ashley, but The Girl in the Woods is coming out, and I can't wait for that. I think the next T Kingfisher is out in March too, but it's like one of the horror ones.
Yeah, House of Big Bones.
Yeah, that one. I feel like there's something else that can't wait. Christina C. Jones, her Marriage of Convenience one, Hostile Takeover, I think is what it's called. That's coming out early March now.
Is it? Okay. I saw it like coming soon, and I was like, okay, but wait.
And she told me it's coming out early March.
Because I've had that one like saved, because I just have like a save thing on Instagram, and I keep checking it. It just says coming soon, and I'm like, but like,
yeah.
So early March. Okay.
And she also posted that she's like working on 2 secret projects.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, what is it?
Just tell me. And I think part of it is because like February had so many releases that I was excited for, and now I'm just like, okay, but like, what's happening in March? No, nothing.
March is usually pretty big publishing too.
Yeah, I like the new Veronica Speedwell is coming out, which I'm excited for. But that's like mystery.
Okay, listen, I read the first one, and like the big reveal twist thing, I was like,
this doesn't they're like super silly.
None of this makes any sense. I was like, if I were them, I would still kill you. What do you mean? Oh, it's all fixed now. No, it's not. And then they did like exactly what I was like, but you could just do this. And they were like, haha, we just did this. And I was like, no shit, Sherlock, like that doesn't solve anything. I was so annoyed. And I was like, I don't know if I can continue because I don't want to stay in this storyline.
Oh yeah, they're all like that. That's great.
Just like, why are we and also it was weird because it was like right when I want to say I read it close to like the Queen's passing, maybe.
Yeah.
And the like Irish were like acting up on TikTok and stuff, and then in the book it's like, no, down with the Irish. I'm loyal to the crown, and I was like, but why? Why?
Why though?
Okay.
And then Yeah, it's not. I've tried so many at this point.
I read one for Taboo Book Club way back in the day, which I just talked about it in my Weber author video I did recently. One and done.
Oh yeah,
but
that was a good one.
That was one of those books where you could have changed 8 different things about it, and any one of those things would have made it more tolerable, but you didn't. So I'm just like icked out over here.
And like I'm usually pretty good with like forbidden stuff. Like there's a lot that I can like deal with.
Right.
But knowing that you saw that child born as a pudgy little newborn as it, you can't get a relationship with them. No. But like Highest Bidder is coming out, and that's like a 22-year age gap, and I'm just like, sure, whatever, that's fine. I'll read that. Whatever.
Yeah, Moonstruck is currently my oldest book on my want to read list on Goodreads. I added it in June. That's my oldest, so clearly I do need to prioritize.
It's just a sign, Heather. You need to read it.
It's a sign. I had it on like my January TBR, I think. That didn't happen.
Poor Brie got sent my random screenshot in the middle of a series last week from that same series. I just feel like I need to share this with you.
It was great. I'm going to use that.
Yeah. Did you finish your whole reread stuff?
I did.
Did you?
You're such a fast reader. I was like, you'll get there.
Yeah. Did I spend my day off on the couch finishing my reread? Yes. And it made me feel better.
I love how you reread before your anticipated releases and stuff, though. It's just like,
well, I swore that it would probably get pushed back at least another week.
So did I. I thought for sure.
I thought for sure it was going to get pushed back another week, and I thought, okay, that's fine. I can read a couple this week. They were my stress rereads, and then I was like, I'll just read a couple this week, and then I'll be done by the time Maniac comes out. No.
Yeah. Also, she was like, they'll be there tomorrow, and I was like, what?
I didn't. In the end, I didn't read the early release. I ended up just reading the final release, but. And we will organize a time to chat about it, Robin. But
yeah, I stayed up way too late because I couldn't like start reading until like 6:30, and so I was like, well, I'm reading it right now. So I started reading at like 6:30 my time, and just ended up staying up late.
Well, I got through my reread, and then I went, and I'd sworn I'd read Damaged, which is the novella.
Yeah,
and I swore I'd read it. And I clearly had not. I'm like, okay, well, I have to read that now before I read it.
Obviously.
They're like, oh, I'll reread the short stories as well. So I reread those. I'm like, I was putting it off because I'm like, when I read it, it's done.
Over. I know. Yeah.
That's okay. I'll do it. I'll probably reread it because I've got the physical copy coming and I want to read it and tab that one up so they're all done.
I keep checking Amazon because like it wasn't on Amazon. It was driving me crazy.
It went up here last night.
Okay.
So I would imagine it would be up for you guys fairly soon.
Okay.
Yeah. I know every day I was like, refresh.
I know.
Where is it?
I was like, what the heck? Because I didn't own Damaged either. So I was going to get that one. And then Maniac wasn't available. And I was like, well, I'm not buying just one. You just buy one book.
I'll need to reread it before Rare because I'm pretty sure if I turn up with 6 of those books tabbed and that one not, it'll be to me in my head that's just going to look weird when I go to get them signed. I'm like, sorry.
No, I didn't hate this one.
I didn't hate this. I've been hanging out for this one.
I really want to order the new Yours Insatiably cover, but I'm scared that if I order on Amazon, I'm going to get the old one and not the new one. And so I'm just like waiting.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to order from their website or not, but I ordered some merch from their link on Instagram, and they had like the new cover and stuff. You could buy them.
They posted a story that was like, if you really want to make sure you get the new one, order through my website, because Amazon you have to wait until their back stock is like gone, and so there's no good way to know until it shows up.
Right. Yeah, that would be frustrating.
Yeah. Because I've done that before where it showed like the new art on Amazon and I bought it and I got sent the old one and they were like, well, that's what it was in our warehouse. I was like, well, that's annoying.
No.
Not cool.
Not what I wanted.
No. Yeah, I ordered a print of the cover cover art. You know what's funny too? I ordered prints of all of the art of Katie Roberts' Deal with the Demon series, even though I haven't read any of them and don't even know if I am going to.
The cover art is gorgeous for those books.
So good.
They're just so good.
It is really good. I fell down like a rabbit hole yesterday of looking at Aveda Vice and Lily Main art on Twitter.
Did you find a good one
again?
I know.
And you were never seen again.
Yeah, seriously. It was crazy. It was a deep rabbit hole too.
I bet.
Isn't it like Skeleton Frankie or some username like that like does the
there's a couple of them, yeah.
Explicit art for
yeah, I swear it got like more not safe for work the further it went.
There's like a really good one for Opal Reigns, A Soul to Keep too. That I think it was them that did it. I don't know. Makes me so happy though to get like characters I love drawn.
Yeah.
But now I'm like waiting to buy the rest of that Aveda Vice series because I'm like, are the rest of the books also going to get new cover art?
Well, it's not technically a series. They did like a weird thing. So they did a thing where they had all of the prequel novellas. They're kind of like interconnected.
Yeah.
And they were a series. And then each one like got its own duets. You have the prequel novella and then the full length.
Yeah.
But then Goodreads like wouldn't let them do like putting in multiple series and things like that. So then they had to like change things. So but I would imagine,
right?
Imagine that's going to get changed.
Yeah.
Because the Yours Insatiably and the Inextricably Tied covers, the original ones, were like pretty similar style.
That's why I was like waiting because I was like, if they matched pretty well before. So I was like, I wonder.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. But I like it.
I do too. I love monster clinch covers now.
Mhm.
They're my favorite.
They're my favorite too. Even when I don't read the book,
Yeah.
they're still my favorite.
Mhm.
I didn't even like The Dragon's Bride, and I kept the book because the cover's so pretty.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've only liked one book so far. I'd liked the one that was in the Peculiar Tastes spin-off series, but the other ones haven't been my faves.
I was like looking today because what is March's video? Oh no. March's video is authors I'm on the fence about trying. But I think April's video it's fine is authors I have no interest in ever reading again. I was like, when was the last time I read a Katie Robert book? And I'm like looking and stuff, and I did read their Krampus short, and that was the only one I read in 2022. And I was like,
I did a do I like Katie Robert anymore video. So nice.
You did a what Katie Robert video?
Do I like Katie Robert anymore?
Yeah.
Like a while, like a year ago, and all I did was rant about how much I hated the rest of the Neon God series.
I'm pretty sure I remember watching that.
Oh, that's awesome. To go from 1800 to 555.
That's awesome.
Well done.
Elyses, I'm so happy for you.
That's such a pain to do in Goodreads too. So that's awesome.
I feel this.
Yeah.
Reread if you want to reread.
Yeah.
That's my vote.
Also, Cheryl, let us know what you're knitting. I want to know what you're knitting.
Yeah. I'm all for team reread because I will reread Kate Daniels this year at some point. And that's right. That's like 12 books if I go to the spin-offs commitment.
Well, we're getting that new one in June.
I know. Clearly they're being inspired and they don't want to write their other things.
Like, this is a procrastination series for y'all, isn't it?
That's okay. I'm here for it.
I'm so happy to get them. So yes, I also don't care.
I think I only need to think of one video for March. Now, I think I've sorted this out.
Way to go, Idaho.
And it will probably actually no, it's 2 books, 2 videos. Oh.
Have more work to do than you thought, huh?
Cabled hat. Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Cozy.
Or what will happen? Or what will happen is what's happening this week because I don't have a video for Friday, and so I'm just vlogging something. And basically, did I forget to plan something for this week? Yes. So you get a vlog instead.
That's funny.
But that's okay. It's Amari, so I think people will be happy with that.
Rory loves
Amari was really fun. I read the first one.
Well, I have both, so if I can, I'll read both.
Yeah.
Rory reread the first one like 500 times. Like I was like, it's great that you like the book so much, but there's a second book out.
I love that.
I'm really tempted sometime this year to get some of the kids at work to choose books for me off the our school library bookshelf to read. I'm just interested to see what they'll pick.
Yeah.
And look, I did just select my 3 literacy /library ambassadors for the year. So I've got to make them do something.
There you go.
Pick my TBR for me.
I've heard that the second one is just as enjoyable as the first for Amari.
Yeah,
I haven't heard anybody complaining about the second that liked the first one. So
yeah.
the author is so lovely too.
Mm-hmm.
Always giving away books to teachers and librarians, and
that's amazing.
Actually, Bree at the Lockbooktition, she won like a special edition from him.
Oh, cool.
Did you? I either didn't see or I forgot that Vina won from him too.
Bookish Oprah. You get a book. You get a book.
Oh, does she really? See, I was already stressed about book one and all of the like crap, especially the adults. The adults that were just like not treating her right. I was just so angry.
Yep.
Yes. Well, forewarned is
Yeah.
Skin of the Sea is another book that has like one of the most beautiful covers. Like the artwork on that cover is so gorgeous. It's one I want like a print of on my wall.
Right. I love the color story.
Yeah,
Like,
the colors are so pretty.
Yeah. Background is so soothing, and then she just like is stunning and pops against the background. She's gorgeous.
Bye. How do we do it?
Actually, I got sent a hang on. I have to go and get it because I got sent this book that has the most gorgeous cover on it.
Oh.
Also, it's probably shiny, which is probably why I'm looking at it.
Oh, I love that cover. Yeah.
I haven't.
So I need to read it this week because it comes out next week, I think.
Romance or something else?
No, it's a young adult. What is it? No, it's a fantasy, so this is going to be interesting. But I got said that I'll read it. But it's very pretty.
It's pretty. Can always see an outfit.
Fantasy novels tend to have really pretty covers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. They really do. All right. I think I might be temporarily at least done with my March setup until I see what I'll actually finish in February. Because I haven't. It would be way too annoying to put a book on my March TBR and then I actually read it in February, so I can't do that.
That would be cheating.
All right, so here's my cover page, which is basically the same as all my other cover pages in a different color. And here's my birthday month spread. Yay!
Love it.
I don't know of any readathons or anything that I plan in.
Anything.
Well, I don't know of any readathons, period. And then I haven't heard of any that I've been participating in.
The Queerlit Readathon has a weekend in March, so I'm doing that one.
Oh, yeah. I think I don't follow whoever hosts that because I feel like the only time I hear about it is when you participate.
Yeah. Kathy's great. I love her.
They, I think, have their own Instagram too for the readathon. I think there's a Queerlit readathon Instagram.
Okay. Let me look that up. Okay, yes. Found it right away.
No, I just remember because I think they've got 2 weekend read-alongs and then the 2 week-long readathons throughout the year. And they announced all the dates at the start of the year. I'm like, excellent. I'll put them in the calendar.
I was telling them, I don't know if it was when we were live or before, but I'm doing amazing on my reads. I'm like a book a day. I was like 7 books behind my reading goal, and now I'm like 3 ahead. So
And we're very proud of you, Heather.
Thank you. Someone needs to be.
Merch mystery madness.
See, I've read a lot this month, but I went to my TBR basket where I shoved all the 5 books, 5 only that I picked for the month, and I'm like, I haven't read any.
Not reading these.
Why I don't pick books anymore. Don't need that stress in life.
I say I'm doing bad, but I've been reading the books off my TBR. I just made a wholly unrealistic TBR.
That was an impressive TBR this month, Robin.
Yeah.
And like, so when we read Glitterland Brie, I'll be able to take 2 books out of my basket because I have both editions of the book.
Well, there you go.
Sitting in there because I haven't read either of them. I have to read at least one of them to take them off my TBR.
Do you want to start that on Monday? Like my Monday, I guess.
Yeah. Can do. Your Monday.
Okay.
Hang on, your Monday or my Monday?
My Monday, right? Yeah. Right?
Yep.
Time.
We only share a day for part of the day.
Yeah.
And it's usually right before I go to sleep and you wake up.
Yep. I forgot I put my Innkeeper Chronicles book on the TBR, so
I've got to put that on my TBR last month as well. I knew I was going to read it, and I just didn't say I was going to read it.
I remember for February, but I almost forgot for March.
I don't know who does middle grade March anymore. I'm just doing it because I know it was a thing. And I like alliteration. And I have a kids book channel, so
Right.
But it won't be every video over there. I've been doing sort of standalone picture book reviews, and I find like that's been really interesting just to sort of unpack them. And now I've got like 2 that are unscheduled and have no release date because I don't know when they're actually going to fit in the schedule. I'm like, that's okay. I can have unscheduled videos.
I feel like middle grade March is just one of those things that like just exists.
Like
no one even hosts it. It's just like a thing people do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of like Sci-Fi September as well, in that it's a thing and people do it, and there are various readathons, but I don't think there's anything that's specifically that.
Yeah. I want to get a couple more of my own books, my own ebooks read in March.
Yeah. We're ignoring the fact that my physical TBR is blown out with book events and stress. Therapeutic. They're just.
I got my KU TBR all the way down to 17 books, so I'm pretty proud of myself right now.
Wow.
What is my KU TBR now? It's only like 1 or 2.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't want to know.
I have that's just my Kindle Unlimited checkouts. I have a list that's 32 books long that I need to check out to read it.
Pretty sure mine's like 25.
Yeah. No, my ones that are checked out is there's 2, and everything else I've thrown now into a KU wish list.
That's what I
just
started doing.
Yeah. I just live in terror that it's going to come out of KU.
Well, if it comes out of KU, then I'm not reading it.
I just leave it there until it goes back in. That's what I've started doing. Is I just have that wish list, and then I just like check it all the time and see if it goes back on, so that I could just check it again.
Yeah,
That's funny.
The wish list was game changing because I kept forgetting about books because I'd be like, oh, I have 20 checkouts.
Yeah, like there's a stupid number of books on my KU wish list. Although
I cannot live like that.
But see, I don't see it, and it's not sitting on any of my devices, and it's more just like there were a couple of the novellas that I read that were part of series, so I grabbed the next one just to remember that I wanted to continue it because they were all different holiday ones.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's 31 bucks, but a couple of them are ones that I've downloaded and just haven't removed from the list yet. So
yeah.
I need to read Office Hours this month by Katrina Jackson.
I just read that one. It was really good.
Steph read it in February too, right?
Yeah.
It's very like slice of life, which I was not.
It just meanders.
Yeah, there's no plot. Like,
cool. So I'm either gonna love it or hate it.
Yeah,
it totally threw me for angst.
Yeah, it threw me for a loop at first because I was like, "Is there a plot to this book?" There's not, but it's cute. And he's like a super pining hero. Like he likes her so much.
Oh dear. Sometimes that works for me, and sometimes it doesn't. I cannot do that at all. And it's because I don't read them. So like I don't get them.
I have a Wasteland on my Kindle called I think I called it like Kindle TBR or something like that, where all those free books go. Yeah,
just need the folder.
The audiobook is on Libro as well. So I didn't know that any of her books had audiobooks, but this one's on Libro.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to read Sabbatical.
I've heard everyone loves that one, like, even more.
Right. That's also what I've heard. Yeah, I finally was able to get it from the library, so I need to read it on this checkout. Alright, I think I'm gonna make a page for my second chance authors vlog. Keeping like, no, you don't need to do that because you'll have the vlog and the video notes and stuff, but I need to like have it in my journal because that's going to be a big TBR. So I need to be like, no, don't add other books. You already are trying to do this project of books that you think you won't even like. So we need to control ourselves here.
How many checkouts, if you guys have Hoopla, how many checkouts do you guys get from Hoopla?
I have no idea.
So I have, for my local one, it's like 5, but okay. I buy the yearly for Miami-Dade and it's like 25.
I heard people have like 20 some, and I was like, I get 4.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I had to get an it's out of state. It's considered out of state location, I guess, for me, because I was like, no, I need more.
Yeah. I always want to read books on Hoopla or listen to audiobooks on Hoopla, and I have to like ration them throughout the month.
It's torture.
5 flex miles, man. Yeah, clearly my library is doing something wrong.
Don't tell anyone though.
Yeah. They have a really good, I think it depends on like what they prioritize. We have a huge physical library selection, and like we have a whole consortium. And so like you can get any book physically, but their audio library on Hoopla, I think they limit because they have to like prioritize costs.
Oh wow, Greene County is only $25 and you get 25 checkouts. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh, I
I
didn't say this
complain. I
earlier.
have like, I think I have 3 libraries on Libby.
I know. I have 3 or 4.
I was going to say, if I haven't managed to convince you yet to read Inner Jam by Kate Canterbury, the audiobook is fantastic.
It's once I get through this secret TBR that we're doing, that is my first one.
Inner Jam was so good. It really was.
I should look up who they've got doing the narration, but they're very good.
I'm curious.
I feel like the kid would translate well to audio book.
Yeah. She does.
She's such a delight.
I'm really sad that the Brooklyn Library is not letting us do out-of-state library cards anymore. I'm really sad about it.
That was a very sad discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Clark and Kit Swan.
Love Jason Clark. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Kit Swan. That name sounds really familiar.
It's familiar, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
You guys want to be done at 10?
We've
been on here for a while already.
Yeah.
It's very relaxing and therapeutic.
It is.
As long as it's not Sebastian Berg. We'll let a certain subsection of the romance community hear you.
You're safe here.
I feel like Sebastian York is one of those people that is like super divisive, where it's like you have people who are like in love, and then
people who
are about it.
Mm-hmm.
What audiobook was I listening to? I just tried listening to an audiobook for like a really popular book, and I could not make it through like one chapter of the male narrator. Because at the end he had like a downward inflection and an inhale after every sentence.
Oh
and
no.
It drove me absolutely crazy.
I don't think I could do an inhale after every sentence. No.
Yeah. It was just like a down, and then I want to say it was like the J.L. Seegers book.
J.L. Seegers.
Like the Restore Me. It might have been the audiobook for that one.
I liked the male narrator for that one. The female narrator.
That's
though,
right. That was that one.
She was very monotoned.
Yeah, that was the other way around. There was some book that I read recently, and where I was like, oh yeah, this is a really good audiobook. And then it got to the male narrator, and it was like, nope.
Silly.
Sandy, like those people who after every sip.
Could be talking about toast and drama.
Stop. He just did the sip and ah thing. It's supposed to be in here.
As I choke on my water.
No, I'll do that.
So I have several authors that I have as possibilities for the second chance thing from the one and done authors and the controversial DNFs. And I'm not going to read all of them. So which do you think would be better? A spinner wheel picking the authors or like a try a chapter of all of the authors?
Try a chapter.
Yeah. You're going to have way more success, I think, and have a better time.
Would you like vlog that? Like read a chapter and then be like, this is why I'm going to read it. This is why I'm not. Because that would be.
And then I
feel
would.
like the spinner wheel sets you up for failure because you're going to get something and be like, no, I don't want to do that.
Well, the thing with the spinner wheel is that I've done with some success before is if I do have like similar, I'm not really into that options. If I do land on one of them, I delete the other ones. So it's like, or for like readathons and stuff, sometimes I'll be like, okay, I had 5 different Mafia ones on the spinner wheel. I'm not reading 5 Mafia. So whichever Mafia one I land on first, that's my Mafia pick for the readathon, you know?
Yeah.
But so I cheat.
Like I don't mind a spinner wheel if I have a defined TBR that I can read in any order, then I use it for that just to decide the order that I read it. But if it's to choose, but I sort of know what I'm getting into with the books. So
yeah.
I
like them for prompts so that I still have some control.
Right. Well, I've already like narrowed it down because I'm not willing to try all of them, right? So I've already like picked, okay, I think these are the ones that I could potentially maybe make something.
Yeah, I feel like the try a chapter sets you up better for success. Yeah, I feel like the spinner wheel makes me anxious.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed watching your try a chapter video, Heather. Yeah, the most recent one.
Yeah, I liked it. I think I will either not try all the chapters on the same day, or I'll try and do it while my kids are at school or something. Although they will be gone a whole weekend in March, so maybe I'd even do it then. But I also kind of wanted to do it where I could do like some clips this week and some clips that week, and not like try and read several in a row of books that I'm like, I don't know that I want to read this.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I basically have it in my mind that I can DNF any of the books, but I cannot DNF all the books. Like I need to complete something.
The probability high enough that you may.
I mean, if you did try a chapter and then whichever one came out the highest ranked is the one that you read.
Yeah, but I just did that, and you guys just saw the video today, but I filmed it like last week, and I don't know that I was the best at choosing, to be honest.
No one's judging how you choose it, Heather.
Okay, listen, the one that won, Velvet, I read it. I gave it 3 stars. You guys know, maybe you don't know, how much I love the Queen's Thief series by Megan Whalen Turner. And it's a young adult series, but there's like huge reveals at the end of each book, and it's like all sorts of political machinations and things like that. There's a spy master in the Queen's Thief series. It's not a love interest or anything, but he is a pretty prominent character, and he's like incredible at his job, right? So Velvet, the series name is The Princess and the Spy Master. And the Spy Master is bad at his job, I feel like on purpose for the plot. I'm like, I'm like, sorry, like, what are you doing? Because supposedly you've risen from obscurity and are cutthroat and are like a genius, and yet you're just like, oh, let's let that loose end wander off towards the enemy. Probably nothing bad will happen. It's fine. She's just a woman scorned. I just turned her down, but she won't do anything. She only knows all the workings of my organization. It'll be fine. Just like, the Spy Master of Atolia would never. Okay? He would never. And I gave that one 3 stars. It's fine, whatever. I have a lot of complaints about it. I'm not gonna lie. I have too many books read in February, so I don't have time to rant about it like I went to in my wrap up. But I have a lot of ranting. I already ranted to my sister about it. And then I DNF'd the second.
Sounds like a separate video.
And the third book, because 20% into the second book and 9% into the third book, I was like, okay, I know everything that happens in this book. I know who did it. I know where this is going. I know all of the things. In fact, I even read the last chapter of the second book, and I was like, oh yeah, I was right about all of this. Didn't have to read it. So, and that was the one I liked the most. So that's honestly very questionable taste.
I'm sorry that happened, Heather.
It's fine, but I'm just like, was this actually the best book? No, there's 0% chance.
0% chance.
And see, then you've got, can you judge a book by its first chapter?
Right. Yeah. And I kind of feel like, no, not really, because I've noticed this with like songs and stuff too. The one that I like immediately is usually like more in your face,
Mm-hmm.
And then the one I like after 12 listens is the one that like I like for longer. It's a long-term favorite, but it's not the one I picked right away. I feel like it's kind of the same thing with the chapters.
Well, that makes sense.
I'm doing that like same series, and I'm having the same thing where it's like, so far I've had like a 3-star, a 4-star. They're fine.
Dear.
Right. Heather, you'd be proud of me. I remembered to put stickers on my February.
I am proud of you.
I haven't done the 3 months, but we're getting
yeah, we're almost over, but it's fine. But also, I did really like doing the try a chapter thing because I really did just want to like decide, is this staying on my TBR or not? Because I'm so sick of seeing it.
Well, I was thinking of doing one with some authors that I haven't done pre-orders and things for Rare. But we'll see. We'll see who I actually own and haven't read.
Well, I think it was really nice too because you didn't really have to make the decision on when or if to DNF to try the next one. It was just like, no, you're done here. Move on, and then see if it sticks with you.
Actually, have any of you guys read Nana Malone?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Okay. Because I'm gonna meet her. It's kind of exciting about that.
Let me look it up. I don't remember what I did. Have you read anything by her?
No, I haven't. I've been meaning to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dina has.
There you go.
Any recommendations? Send them my way.
Okay. Have to check a Goodreads because otherwise.
She's been funny because in the Rare Facebook group, she's been, like whenever she shares something, she does it as a video, and I just love her personality in her videos. She's great. Okay, cool. I'll have to check it out.
Okay.
Goodreads is so slow, like I can't even right now.
It's been really slow recently.
I know. What is
going on?
And then I went to go get book covers for one of my videos, and then Goodreads was down, and I was just so mad.
I know.
I'm trying to get this video posted.
Yeah, I feel like they've been down a few times this week, maybe. Or maybe it's just my end not working, but I'm trying to be on that. Can't.
That's why when someone said they removed 500 books, I was like, dang, I'm surprised it worked for 500 bucks.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear. So I have to film like 2 more clips for my Not Like Other Booktubers, which
I cannot wait for that video.
There's like a couple of things where I kind of fire some shots about reading diversely. I'm like, the rest of it it's very jokey, and then I'm like, and also, and I'm like, well, I don't know how this is gonna go.
Yeah, but I feel like that one needs to be called out.
So I have to film a couple for that, and then I get to film another book talk video. So I have fun ones to film. I can't wait for you guys to see it though, because
I'm excited.
I feel like I mishmashed 90 different ideas, and I'm not exactly sure how it turned out, but I know there's like a couple parts that I feel like people are going to think are funny. So we'll see.
It'll be good. I've got to organize myself to do my reset video next weekend.
I have to film 2 recent reads. And I just keep putting them off. So many books to talk about.
Yeah. Same.
Look, I'll tell you, that's why I just do one a week.
Yeah.
Although I did tell myself I wasn't going to talk about... Actually, no, this week I did a better job of it. So I said, I'm not going to talk about all the books in depth. And all I've done is talk about all of the books in depth. And this time I'm like, I feel like, because I was doing so many rereads, I'm just like, and this is what I thought about this book really quick. Like, this is just my new thought on this book. And this is commenting on other people's reviews of books. And I'm like, okay. So I'm not actually talking about the book. I'm just word vomiting, basically.
I think that's why editing always drives me crazy, is because I'm just like, why did I talk so much?
Well, considering I'm talking about so many books, like it's less than 12 minutes, which is short for me. And I got it edited down to that. So I'm like, okay. So I must don't expect actual real information. I don't even think I talk about what the Necessary Evil series is now. I'm just like, yeah, you've heard me talk about this.
I know. So when I review Criminal Intentions now, I'm just like, yep, I read book 10.
Book 10, can't talk about it. Spoilers. Moving on.
You've heard me do this already.
Pretty much.
I was like, what about the person that hasn't watched anything before? And I'm like,
well, that's why I linked to previous videos where I've talked about it more. If you want to hear about it, go there or go read Goodreads summary.
Which author?
That's the one that she's on the cover of the books for.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. She's on the cover of a couple of her book series. They're so pretty.
They are very pretty. All right. Are you guys ready to call it quits?
Yeah.
I finished. I think I finished. It's just the same thing. My author one. So right now, at least, my possibilities are Rebecca Weatherspoon, Lillian Lark, Anna Wong, Regine Abel, Evie Mitchell, Chloe Lees. Don't look at me, Bree. I see you. Adriana Herrera and Julia Wilde. So.
Oh, there you
go. There are Rebecca Weatherspoon books I love, and there are Rebecca Weatherspoon books that I regret reading.
I was gonna put her. She wasn't on my possibility, and then like every comment on the video was like, "You need to try Rebecca Weatherspoon again." And I was like, "All right, well, I told you all to tell me, so I feel like I need to."
Like, I think it depends on which series.
How are you choosing the books by these authors? As your try again.
Yeah, I think for all of them, I have one, so I'm like, I think this is the one I'm most likely to be interested in.
Okay.
So Rebecca Weatherspoon, I'm thinking Rafe.
I didn't like Rafe as much as any. It was fine. I did not like it. It's just
Have you read the Beards and Bondage series?
I read the first one.
Oh, you did?
That's
the one book by her I read.
I feel like that's everyone's least favorite. Because then like Harbor is everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I liked all 3 books in that series. But Harbor's really good.
Like I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't like I hated the book or anything. But I read it 2 years ago and I haven't picked up anything else by her. That's why it's in the video.
I wasn't a fan of her paranormal series.
What
one that I didn't enjoy? She's got a vampire one.
Interesting.
And it was annoying because it's a sapphic vampire one, and I'm just like, I didn't like it.
Yeah. I don't even know if I've heard about her having paranormal books.
I'm pretty sure it's her. Hang on.
Rebecca
Maybe
Withers?
I'm making things up.
Christina C. Jones has a vampire one.
Yeah,
it's an immortal one.
Yeah. Well, she has Curiosity too, which is
vampire.
Oh yeah, Vampire Sorority Sisters.
Yeah.
That's quite the cover.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. I definitely did not know that she had that. Yeah, and also like she's one of those authors, which I like said in the video, but so many of the authors, the whole reason why they're in the video is because you would think I would like them. Like I follow them, I really like them as people. I'm like, no, I'll love your books, and then I don't, and I'm just like, oh.
That's so sad when you like someone as like you like an author as a person, but you don't like them.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I definitely have those authors that I follow on social media, but I don't like their books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or it's like you really liked one, and then you haven't really liked the others.
Have you decided which Lillian Lark book you're going to read?
Well, I have Ensnared by the Werewolf on my Kindle. So I was thinking I could do it for double up the owned challenge and this. But so I'm thinking that one.
Which one did you read that by her?
Three of Hearts.
Tangled Wires is good.
Which one?
Tangled Wires.
Oh,
And it's short.
I know.
I have a
You
whole
guys
video.
really like it, and then I hear other people absolutely hate it.
What did they not like about it?
I don't know. They
I
just
don't
said
think
it
I've
was
ever heard anyone say
terrible.
they didn't like it.
Look, it does deal heavily with
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
suicide.
suicide.
So that probably does not appeal to most
Well,
people.
and sci-fi isn't my thing as much, so I figured.
It reads more like a dark romance with sci-fi elements rather than a sci-fi romance.
It doesn't.
It technically is, but it's more dark romance or darker contemporary romance.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. I feel like if you're going to, Three of Hearts is like the first book where she stepped into monster romance,
Right.
and like Stalked by the Kraken, Deceived by the Gargoyles, and Snared by the Whip, like those three are probably my favorites, and you can tell where she's come from. I like Three of Hearts now, looking back on it and objectively going, this isn't her best work.
Right.
But,
well, I did watch your video, your deep dive into her, and you were like, yeah, this is not the best one. I was like, okay, see, this is promising, and I was like paying attention to which ones you liked the most and stuff.
Yeah. And Snared by the Werewolf is good because it's shorter, so like it's
right,
and it's contained, and there's a bit of the rejected mate trope which you like. So
I feel like I don't like it, but then I have all these exceptions to not liking it.
You're talking about the books that you like.
No. Like, no, I really love this one, but it's fine. But yeah, we shall see. I feel like I picked ones that, like, all of you guys with really similar tastes to me, like, you really like them. I'm like, okay, these are the ones I'm probably willing to give another chance. So,
all right. I recommend because they might be emotional, and I didn't realize. Heart of Steel, apparently.
Robin, you like emotional books, but like, have you ever read any of Bree's recommendations?
Yeah, Heather,
I mean, I like Brittany Cherries, so
Heather, you are never, even though it's probably going to be on one of my top favorite books of the year, you are never to read it.
Which one?
The rest of the story by Tal Bauer.
I have it on my Kindle already. Ready
I was bawling in the first 3 chapters.
I can't do it. I will cry so hard. Listen, I cried. I literally cried during Clean Sweep today. I was like, oh,
you need to go by Robin's Rex then, because she cries for everything, so you'll know.
She's always like, this ripped my heart out, and I'm like, pass.
Okay, but in the book's defense, it could be like a rom-com, and it'll be like, I cried at the end. They just made me so happy that I cried.
Meanwhile, I'm like, this is such a fun rom-com, and there's like a tragedy.
Yeah. Whereas I want you to read the book because I want to know if it makes you cry.
Okay, I'm curious because it genuinely takes a lot for me to cry.
No, it does not take much for me. My husband was gone for like almost 4 days this week for work, which never happens. Like, he's literally never had to go because he's in the office and stuff, and they do jobs, and usually he doesn't have to go do it, right? So I cried every day that he was gone. And then he like gets home, I'm like hugging him, and my kids are like, "Are you crying?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they're like, "Why?" And they're
like, "What? He was gone."
It's happy tears. They're like, "Why are you crying now that he's home?" And I'm like, I'm just happy. And they're like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Why would I be crying because he's back if I'm like sad about it?" Like, I'm not doing that.
It could be a very serious situation if that's why you're
exactly.
Why are you here?
I'm literally always like I'm so thankful to be in a relationship where not just me, but like also my kids, like we're all happy when dad gets home. Like, it's better that he's home than that he's gone. I'm like, that's how you know.
Yeah,
so I cried every day this week so far. So things are fine.
sometimes you just gotta let it out, right?
Oh, man. But yeah, listen, the Clean Sweep is not an emotional book whatsoever. There's like it was not even kind of, and I was just like, ah.
Hang on, did you cry at the end?
Yeah, when they're like doing all their memories and stuff.
Yeah, like
those montages. No, I cry every time.
Not all of you having grief and all the people you lost and everything. I can't do this.
But it makes sense because they're trying to end a war. And
that did make sense, but I literally had like a tear dribbling down my cheek.
Whenever there's like a little montage epilogue where it's like, here's where all the people are, I cry every single time.
It's like my favorite thing about you, Robin.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's just like they all lived really happy lives. It gets me.
I feel like between the four of us, we have a really good sliding scale of how people will react emotionally to books.
So true.
We make one person that healthily deals with emotions.
Yeah. Put this together, you have a pretty moderate response. All right, I'm gonna end the live now. We've had our therapy session for the internet. All right, it's on Robin's channel next month, right?
Is it?
No.
I don't know.
Is it?
I don't know.
Who had it last month? Wasn't it Robin who had it last month?
Oh, it was Robin.
Okay, so who hasn't? You, Steph?
Yeah, Steph, it might be your turn.
Or have we all gone? So we're starting over at the beginning, maybe.
I mean, well, I've had it on my channel quite a bit.
Yeah, Steph and I.
It doesn't matter. We just have to tell the people.
It will be either on Bree's or my channel.
It will be on Steph's channel. The executive decision.
I'm not going to set a date yet, though, only because I've been told to not set dates for things at the minute. Don't ask. It's a family thing. But I'm just like, oh God.
It doesn't matter as long as
we'll organize something at some point.
It'll almost definitely be a Friday or Saturday night for us.
Look, I think I have a public holiday on a Monday at some point as well, so maybe that'll work.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
You'll see it on YouTube. Just subscribe to Steph and you'll see it. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.